guess this just means I have to be super loud to be heard. I guess, okay. Button, button, button. Where is the button? There, I think I got it. Hello! God, I feel nervous. First stream things, introductions. Very quiet. Okay, I don't want to feel like I'm yelling, you know? I have no idea how. I think I have it all the way up on here. Yeah, the slider's all the way to 100. Let's click to turn it off. Maybe I could use something else. Does this thing have its own? Yeah, fuck it. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. Properties? Is this one any better? Yes. Turn it down just a little bit. Just a little better? Hi. Yes, much better. Awesome. God, this stuff is so weird to figure out. Okay. What was that list of things I had? I don't know where my list went. Hello? So I'm Tilly, or Starful Cosplay. This is my first stream on Twitch. Crabs! I figured to start off I'd work on one of my more interesting projects currently, which is the Xerneas. Let me see, button would be comparison, and then, so this is my main reference. This is the main art piece I've been going off of. I have not been able to find the artist for it, even with reverse image searching, so if they ever pop up, wonderful. If not, that's okay. I'll figure it out eventually. And then the Pokemon version, because some people don't recognize it from the art. One big thing I'm currently tackling is the Antlers, because in the original version, he's got like much more outy antlers. And for some reason, the reference like took them and just shoot them straight up, which I did not like. So it took a while. I 3D modeled my own antlers. This took me about 5 months of work because I'm very much a 3D modeling noob. And then afterwards, I cut out the gems, and I have been casting them all in clear resin. I do still have to go over these guys and add in a clear coat over the top of a UV protectant, otherwise they will turn yellow over time. So I figured I'd do that, as well as pour some more, because I still need a few more of these to finish off the antlers. I can't attach any of them yet because I still also have to do electronics for them, and I'm not the greatest when it comes to soldering items, so that might take me a little bit longer. I might try doing that on a separate stream a different day. Then the other progress I have, I think, oops, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Fancy coat. So like the entire coat for this thing, I drafted my own pattern for it. I really like the coat. All of the trim actually glows via EL wire. Not currently visible, but I do have pictures of it glowing on other media. And like this thing was just fun. I have a bunny suit that's being worn underneath it. I still do have to finish out my shoes that go along with it, work on my lining, trim, because while this looks nice, I thought it would look nicer if I had it triple layered and it had this going over it, so I have to finish that too. But for now, because 3D work is much more interesting for first, you're going to do that. Gosh. Someday when I can afford a second camera, I am doing it so I don't have to move stuff. Shadow gigging. Hello. Sorry, you don't have to talk if you don't want to, friend. Let's see. Do thing. So I guess I will move you guys over here, and then we can start doing work. I just have to move my beading. Because while beading is nice, it is very slow and arduous, especially how I do it, because I'm still quite the novice at beadwork. So what I do takes 1,000 years. Alright, you go in your bin. Haha. I just don't want to get stabbed. I think this is it. If you guys are motion sick, suffer from motion sickness too, I'm very sorry. I know your pain. I just don't know how else to move you guys. Oh, now you're in the way. There we go! Ha ha ha! I can move these too. Those are just drying wax I use for other stuff. I actually need most of those today. So, Antlers! Oh, thank you! These ones are definitely my favorite ears out of all the pairs that I have. Like, I do have my pride ears for Pan, but these ones still take the cake and I enjoy them the most. Let's see. Move my light just a little bit so I can see better. Let's see, so then this is 1, 2. So this one goes here. I do have to do a little bit of trimming on it still, so that is one of the things I'm planning to do today. I also have to cast these 3. I need 1 more of all of these sharp pointy guys. I just need to do a slight fix because one of them did end up popping a small hole when I was removing its original. Sadly, it was actually the blue one, which was very annoying. I was hoping to get all of these done first try, but thanks a lot, blue. Where was this one? Yeah, that was that one. Like, these things are turning out pretty good. It's making me quite happy because these are the first silicone molds and castings I've ever done solo without, like, any other help. Turn off because I don't want to get in trouble. I should just turn my phone off entirely, probably. So I still have to cast a couple of these. I can probably cast all the small ones with you guys, and then I can do the big ones later. Because the mixing and stuff on these is not the most intriguing part of the process. But first big thing I have to do in order to get most of these ready for use is a little bit of trimming. Because the way that I cast them left them quite messy on some of their edges, which is not very good. You can particularly see it in, like, this guy over here has been cleaned up a lot. This guy hasn't, so he's got all these sharp, jagged edges. So like, I have to clean all of those, especially since once they're in the antlers, there are wires in there that I'm not sure I'll be able to fully tack down. And I don't want them to possibly get shredded just because the resin was sharp. I also really don't want to shred my own hands just because the resin is sharp. Oh right, I need to switch over to boop. Ha ha ha! There we go. I am learning. Oh, shoot, I never changed that word though. Oh, thank you. I feel quite proud of them, and it makes me excited to do the next thing of work that I've got to do. Though, I don't know, the next prop I have planned is the glass divers from Skyrim, and I'm not sure how well those are going to go just because of how thin they are. Done. Fixed it. Totally getting the hang of this. I hope. Random doodads. Let's see. I've gotten some of this one cleaned up. It does have a little bit of texture on it, so I do plan to technically conceal that when I put on the next layer of resin just to smooth everything out. What does Xerneas mean? Oh, Xerneas is the Pokemon's name. Comparison. Open up reference. This guy. Yep. He's definitely my favorite out of most of the legendaries. Though then if you go pseudo-legendary, I would say Absol. Just because technically she's a legendary, but they don't consider her a legendary. Pokemon lore is just kind of messed up. Oh, there we go. Gotta be really careful with this part, because this stuff does cut off really sharp. But this is the easiest way I've found to remove it without causing too much of a foggy texture. Because I did try to completely sand old resin prints, or resin castings, but those ones would fog up and you could barely see through them, and they just looked insanely messy. Ooh. Oh, okay, that broke off easy. Aww. Thanks, Cactus. You're amazing and I love you. Ooh. God, at least this one's coming off easier than the others. They're just shooting everywhere as soon as they pop off. As long as I don't get hit. I should probably put on eye protection, but I don't remember where my goggles are at the moment, and I think they're downstairs. Come on. Got it. Ha ha ha. Oh wait, doesn't this thing show me stuff? Button. Oh, it does! That's awesome! It can show me things. And I don't have to have my head turned all the way. I'm pretty sure Joker's audience and mine would end up being completely different just because he does the game nights. God, Family Sus Night last night was very, very fun. The new map on Among Us was just so nice to explore. But holy crap, it is so big. Dang it, this one is not willing to cut any further, so I might have to go in and sand that down with my Dremel tool later. I am nervous to do that on stream just because I know Dremels do get super loud, and while I can mute things, then I feel it gets a little bit worse for wear for you guys. I don't know. What do you guys think, I guess? This one looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm just going to start setting aside the ones that are already decently... Alright, you need some more work. You need just a little bit of work. Have to figure out how to do it on the computer. Yeah, trying to figure out how to set all of this stuff up alone was a pain in the keister. It took me a couple days just to figure out how to get the alerts, because I thought you needed to do them through the Streamlabs computer thingy, but it turns out you have to do them on their website thing, and I was like, what? This makes little sense, but I figured it out eventually. Ooh. And thankfully the other parts were mostly simple. I was able to figure them out over time. I was on a friend's stream yesterday for a Cosplay, and she had these cute little avatar things down at the bottom that you could play games with, and it's like, oh my god, those are so cool. I don't think I could do that yet because I have no idea how to set it up, and it's like, dang. Though she has been streaming for quite some time. I think she's like Brian. She's on the affiliate level. I already have better than those. Thank you. It's part that I was stressing over the most, so I figured, okay, in order to alleviate some anxiety, I will at least spend a while on setup, just to see what I can do. And then if I don't like it, I can always change it in the future. But at least I'm starting. Like, that was the hurdle that everybody told me, like, if you want to, just go and do it. If you keep talking about do it, you'll never do it. And I was like, okie dokie. Wonderful to know. Ooh. Alright, yeah, that one seems pretty good. So you go over there. Might just have to wait until he gets home. Until who gets home? Oh! Yes, that would make sense. Okay, so this only lets me look at stuff. I can't actually interact through that thing. Wonderful to know. One fun thing that I've been told by a lot of people, though, is that these apparently look like Jolly Ranchers, and I've been threatened by many friends that they are going to lick my antlers when they see me in person, and I'm like, please don't lick me. Like, I have a feeling it'll make for fun photos, but at the same time, I know this isn't food safe, and I don't want them to possibly get sick, even though it is fully cured resin. trying too much. I just have I don't know. It's one of those things I was told by people. Like, try to limit that. You're okay though. I love you still. Maybe I can turn that thing off. I mainly added it because it said that it will help against you know, certain blocked words that I don't want being said. I just don't know how to do the other stuff. Okay, this one is mostly good. It's this chunk over here that I'm gonna have to fight with, I think. I am not strong, so I gotta do tiny cuts. Yes. Right here. Yes. Woohoo! That is coming off easier than I thought it would. I guess this is one of the fog pieces. What's that? Okay. Nothing. I hope. Gotta get to the junkyard now. Thank you, Missile. Have fun at the junkyard, I hope. Like, I hope it's a good trip and not a bad trip. Yes, the Jolly Rancher antlers will probably be back. I won't be able to paint them today, so I'll probably try painting them on another stream. I just worry because my compressor is loud. Alright, you're gonna need more work than I can give you. So I'll need to sand that one as well. Oh. Do not fly off that far. I don't want to step on it later. These things actually do hurt quite a bit when you step on them. So they get sharp. Ooh. Oop. I hope that's also not too loud for you guys. I thought about getting a headset just so I could listen in on my own self, but that feels really weird and I feel awkward listening to myself. Though I've heard I'm gonna have to get over that because a lot of streaming is talking to yourself if you don't have other people with you. Like in games. Almost there. Just a little bit over here and then I think this one will be good. Hopefully it's a good trip. Looking for cheaper car parts. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, my dad would do that too, looking for car parts. Always said you'll find weird gems at the junkyard. And he actually did come home with a lot of good stuff. I mean, I wish you guys could come by and bother me. I'm just states away now. It will be nice next year when we finally get to move back to Wisconsin. I don't like it in West Virginia. Oh, you're not one of my pieces? Get out of here. You don't belong. Let's see. Right, this one I've done minor cleanup. Right, that side's actually pretty good. It looks like this end here. Oh. What's a JTV? I've never heard of that before. But thank you, Joker. Ooh, there we go. Ooh. I don't know where that piece went. I will find it later, more than likely by stepping on it. Smooth. That looks good. Alright, that one is on the done pile. Alright, this one I think is pretty good, so I'll set you over there. Yeah, that one's good. I am missing one of these points. There it is. Ha ha ha. Once he came back with car seats. like actual full seats from a car, and I got so confused as to why. Ended up turning them into very nice seats though. Alright, a little bit here. Honestly, out of all of these, the red one is my favorite because I think it turned out the smoothest compared to everything else. Ooh, ha ha. Right about there. Careful, don't get cut on the sharp resin. Much better. Done pile. Aww. Yeah, that part seems like the hardest. My dad actually has been doing mechanic work for years, so he's gotten to the point where he can put anything in any car with just a couple modifications, and it is wonderful to watch, but also very confusing. Ooh, come on. Maybe this angle will get that part. There we go. Facade! Yay! It's good to see you! I missed you yesterday! Oh, there we go. Nice and trimmed. I just started today. This is our first stream, so, yeah. Alright, this one actually turned out the smoothest and doesn't really need any sort of trimming, which is weird because this is the one that sprung a leak and broke my mold. Alright, let's see. I do need to sweep off some of these shavings. That way it doesn't get too messy up here. I remember, yeah. Well, let me know the next time you stream. I'll come and watch. Gotta support my cosplay fam. More stitching! Yay! How is it looking so far? Send me a pic. It's like, I'm really excited to see your Mimikyu once it's all completed. Oh, hello there. Tiny bead. Good to see you. How you got out of the container, I don't know. Unless I just spilled you. There. Alright, so most of those are ready. I can probably start this part. I just have to move. Oopsie. There. Click. Move these guys. Like, one big thing on this mold, though, is just because of how it is set up. I have to elevate it, otherwise the points get squished. Sent. Woohoo! Alright, come here. Cell phone. Oh, dang. I love it! That thing is looking so good. Here, you guys can see too. She's been working on Mimikyu, going like a barbarian style. And that stitching though, like, dang. God, I love your work. Focus the, oopsie. I I'm sure it'll focus back in, I hope. There it goes. I saw the ding. Alright, so those are like that. I can prop up this side like this. Right, let me see. Where is my color chart? Horror, yes! Best game genre. Oh shoot, I forgot I had food. This eating is important. I'm just gonna scoot this over here a little bit. Hey, focus, please. Focus. Camera. There it goes. Finally, you did it, buddy. They were gonna give you your own name just because you're ticking me off sometimes. And I can't for the life of me figure out where I put my color book. There it is. It's under Osmo. There. I mainly need this thing because the way that these are set up, I couldn't fully keep track of which gem was where during the molding process. And just so I don't have to have my reference picture up all the time, I made this little chart, which has helped a lot. One of the big things I ended up doing with this chart was I gave each one of these its own alphabetical codes, like A, B, C, D, and then, of course, top, middle, bottom, gave them their color charts here. And then this has also been quite helpful because after that I numbered each of their slots. That way, when I was doing this part and removing them from the actual antlers themselves, I wouldn't get them mixed up. Because they are all incredibly different sizes, even if it's minute, that it became a bit of a chore. And that has helped a lot because then I could just correlate the numbers and where they are onto this. So like every gemstone has its own number code, which goes onto here, which tells me where it is on here. A lot of work just for a little piece of the cosplay, and it's like, oh my gosh. When I move on to my next build, I'm sure to be just as extreme on it, more than likely. Okay, let me see. Which ones did I already complete and which ones did I have to move on to? Pen. So I've got one half of each of those. I have the pale orange, pale blue, pale red. So that means I need the pale purple for today. And let's see, I have soft pink down here. And I've got yellow. So that means I would need the dull purple and the darkish blue are the next ones that I have to cast. And where are those ones on my map? Okay, so darkish blue is the 8, which is on the second mold. Shoot, which direction was this mold supposed to face? I don't quite remember. I think it's supposed to face that way. Right, you look like that. You look like that. You kind of look like that. Number 7 is dull purple, so I think that would make you this bigger one over here. But I'm not fully certain. What is this numbered piece? Right, you're 15, but you are quite close to the same style. That does not help me very much. You're all bottoms. You two do look like you're the most similar in size. Alright, I'm gonna consider that these two are the darkish blue. And just hope I get it right. Otherwise I'll have to recast. That works for now. Alright, so we start with dark blue, and then we'll move on to purple. Where do I put these guys? Oh, it's over here for now. Nope, those will fall over. Down there you go. Alright, I need my resin and my color. And of course this guy. There we go. Makes them stick. And then I'm going to move my book out of the way just so I don't spill on it. Because currently this is the only build book I have for this guy and I don't want to ruin it. Just don't fall. I do need something to lay down on my workspace so it doesn't get too dirty. Because I made the mistake of forgetting it last time and I had to clean a lot of my desk. Alrighty, parchment paper to the rescue. I've got these. Let's see. The main area of the mold that I need. Where is it? Okay, so you guys are good. And then, alright, so that's 3, 4, 3, 3, 9, 9. There. Alright, so I need the 7s and 8s. Alright, so 7 is over here. The 8s are here. 7. And number 9s, which are these two, if I'm remembering correctly. 3, 4, 10, 10, 7, 9. Yeah, these guys. So I think these here are the 1s, and these are the 3s. Yep, so I need those two the most, which means I need another stand just to hold this thing up. Oh yay, you're working on more stitch work too! I'm really excited to see that one done. I know it's currently still a long shot on whether or not we're going to have Kitsune and anything like that, but like I'm still holding out some hope because I miss you guys and I'd love to see you. If we don't, not too big of a deal. We can always just do like a Discord chat or something, because those are very fun too and I enjoy them. Our Discord calls really help me get through. So I mainly need these guys for when I do the smaller resin batch, so I'm going to put you guys over here. Because you guys are the coating epoxy. Wow, I did not clean that afterwards. That's okay. I keep wipes. Yes. Me too. Like, when all of this started and we didn't have cons, my motivation kind of plummeted. I still did a little bit of work, but not a lot. It was to the point, like, I had to rush the 2 weeks before, Light Fantastic last year just to have everything finished in time, and, well, it still turned out good. I could have done better. So after we started doing, like, our Friday talks, I've been doing a lot more crafting-wise and feeling better. And it helps so much. It's one reason why we also thought, you know, jumping into streaming might be a good idea, because then it's kind of like hanging out with people, but different, if that makes sense, I guess. I wanted to do this sooner, but my old computer never let me, because if I tried to stream, it would actually crash itself. That weekend dress kicked your butt into doing cosplay again. Dude, that dress turned out so good. That detachable train you had was just phenomenal. Like, gosh dang. That turned out wonderful. Alright. Much better. Nice and clean. And I'm going to ignore these guys for now, so I'm going to focus on these, that, and these. Because, yeah, I just had 3 more sets to do, which 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. And I was going to do darkish blue first, or should I get the pale purple? No, I think I'll do pale purple last, so I'll start with darkish blue, then I'll go for dull purple, then pale purple. Ayo, oh, you're JoJo's friend, Sebastian. Nice to see you. Alright, resin. Let's get it moving. Alright, now this one is... So one of the big reasons why I picked this resin is specifically because a person I follow on YouTube called Bobby Duke Arts used this same resin for a pair of crystal angel wings to go on one of his sculptures, and they turned out perfectly clear. Like 100% crystal clear. So that was what kicked my butt into doing this part even more. Of like, oh hey, somebody actually did it, so I can still go in and do it. The only thing is with this resin is it does take like 3 to 5 days to be fully dry. Or fully cured. Because with how slow it cures, you can get all the bubbles out and not have to worry about any little bits. Alright, let me think. God, I hate this part because it's a lot of math, because this is a 2-part A to 1-part B. I'm doing the darkish blue first, which are on here, which are these two. So that means I'm probably going to need 50 total. So I guess I'll start with, well, if I do 10 of that, that means I need 20 of that, which would just get me to 30. So if I do 20 of this, then I need 40 of that, which would put me at 60, which is a little bit over, but I think that'll be fine. Oh, you sent me photos of the dress. Give me just one moment so I can get this one forward. Like, math is my worst subject, so that's what I hate about this. But they look so good when it's done, and I'm like, God, why does this turn out so beautifully with so much math? Alright, so it's 2, now I need to fill it to 60. Alright, got it. Alright, got this, and then, shoot, I should have dumped these out sooner. So these are the pigments I've been using. They are technically an alcohol pigment, which really helps. One of the things I noticed in some of the other videos of Bobby Dukes I saw is when he tried using the Illuminite resin with different pigments, it didn't take. So, like, I emailed back and forth with one of their sales reps for a little while on, like, what kind of resin ingredients seem to do the best. And in all of that, they were like, alcohol pigments do the best on this. So my brain is just a little bit like, okay, I think I can make that work. And I've had these guys for almost a year now, so I'm glad to finally be using them. I need to pull up my reference photo so I can get a color match. Button all the way down. Alright, so I'm on the technically dull purple, which kind of looks like, wait no, we're on darkish blue. It kind of looks like a blueberry blue, at least to me it does. Nope, that is the black, but I might need you, so I'll set you aside. Lime. Okay, so here's the blueberry. I know I have some other blue tones though, so I will take a look at those as well. Alright, that's classic blue. No, there's snow. I know I'll need that for the pale purple later on. Alright, those ones look good. Don't fall over. Fine, fall over. See if I care. Alright, so then I think this is my original comparison on the paper of the blue compared to the blueberry, but I'm not fully certain, so I'm going to test again. Just to take a look at the colors and see if I like the difference between them. Come on, open. Okay. Yep, it looks like that was my original testing on the paper between these two. So then, blue, blueberry, they're very different colors. The blueberry definitely has more of a purple tone, so I think I'm going to save that one for doing the pale and dull purples. Then this one might work. Thing is, with how sharp this blue is, it of course turns out like this when it's cured. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of mixing just to make sure I can get my color tones correct. Because this one is going to be the pickiest out of them all. I may add just a smidge of black to see how that goes. So I'll start with like 3 drops. Because if I'm remembering correctly, on this blue point, I used roughly 20 drops of blue. And that was a big decider in how my color came out. And sadly, I'm also battling the natural yellow pigments of this resin, which was very annoying for some colors. Like the purple I had to especially saturate, otherwise it kept turning a little bit more yellow than I wanted it to be. There we go. I like the tone so far, but it's still a bit too muted. Let's try adding just a single drop of the blueberry to make it a different shade. Ooh, there we go. Alright, that is giving it a new tone, so I think I might add 2 more drops of the blueberry. I should really stop closing these. 1, 2. Great. You two sit together since you're the cat. Oh, hey! That tone is looking pretty good. Still a bit too bright for my taste, so I'm going to add a drop of the black. I do doing this really gives me the witchy vibes. Oh, yes. That's looking good. Okie dokie. I think that's actually a really good match for this part of the antlers. And it's a different enough shade between this guy that it has a lot of depth too. Alright, then which number were you guys? You are the 8 darkish blue, which made you these two over here. If I'm remembering my mapping correctly, I did have the little... Oh, oops, I forgot I had this sideways notch on here just to keep that together, which would mean the two on the opposite of the notch, which is here. So these two are actually my 8. Let's try to get as much off of the mixing stick as possible. Going to grab a wipe, because cleanliness is good in a craft space, otherwise I really explode. Like legit, it's really hard for me to keep my craft space clean, so I've been working on it a lot more. There. Ha ha ha. Alrighty, got that. And then we pour, alright, just so I don't lose track, diamond opposite 2. There we go. Awesome. And then I do have leftover. I'm okay with having leftovers though, because I can always use them for something else. Main items being is I bought these way back for my Spyro cosplay, and I've just been using them to dump extra resin in. Back when I first tried doing resin printing or resin casting with, you know, pre-mades, it didn't turn out very well. This one has a ton of leftover gunk inside of it, so using this I've been able to get it out and clean up these molds, which is so nice because then I can use them for other projects in the future. Randy, hey, it's good to see you. I'm doing pretty good. I think this build is turning out quite well. I want to submit it for the Ultimate Online Cosplay Championship, which means I have to have it done this month because applications close soon. There we go. Spill. May 15th? Yeah. Thank you. I knew somebody else in here would remember. And like, while it's technically a month away, it's still close enough that my brain's like, we have to be careful. Otherwise we won't make it, knowing me. Ooh, come on. Set down without spilling. There we go. Got it. Alright. Like, one cool thing for this resin is you can already see majority of the bubbles that were there when we poured have dissipated. They're now the tiny little flecks of white on top. And they're just gonna keep going away. No, for sure. You might enter Mimikyu if it turns out good. I think you should enter Mimikyu. It would be really fun. Like, they did say they're being super harsh this year because, what was it, last year they had over 300 submissions, which I think is super cool. It just shows how much hard work everybody's been doing. That is now looking a little... No, it's good. It's good. Don't nitpick. Don't nitpick. Alright, so that one's done. So that means I need to move on to the dull purple, which I think is going to have more of the blueberry tones. And I might use a little bit of my lavender or my violet, just because both of those do have nice purple tones in them. There it is. They are being much tougher this year. Thank you for the vote of confidence, Randy. I quite appreciate it. Like I've been in their the Discord for UOCC since they opened it, and it's really fun. There are a lot of great people in there to talk to and get to know, which has been super fun and really nice just to chat with more fellow makers. Like, even if it's not about your Ultimate Online Cosplay Contest builds, just talking shop in general has been really nice, really therapeutic, and just so much fun. Oh, here we go. Oops. Got it. Now I am good for another pour. Black, I'm going to keep you nearby just in case I need you. Snow, I don't need you quite yet. Yeah, they have a Discord for it. Let me send you the... Well, we've got multiple cosplayers in here, so I'll just drop the link in chat. Button, Discord. Because I think you guys would really enjoy the Discord as well. Invite. Copy link. Come on, cooperate with me, phone. I'm trying to only use one finger so I don't accidentally get any sort of, what's the word? Resin on here. Got it. Paste. Send. Alrighty, so that link is for the UOCC Discord. Hey, come back, phone. I still need you for my reference photo. Right, I cannot zoom in any farther. Alright, so I'm thinking, so this is this one and this one over here. I think I'll just fill the same amount I did for these guys, so we'll just go 20, 40. Here it is. Okay, so 20. Got it. 40. I think maybe one of the reasons why I'm also constantly defaulting to 2040 is because I already have that math figured out and I don't have to play with other numbers. Yeah. Da-da-da. Oh. Alrighty, dull purple. It is your turn. Let's do 3 drops of blueberry. And then I do want to see how the violet compares, so I'm going to put a droplet of it over here. Alright, so the violet is a much darker purple. Nothing bad about that, so I may add a couple drops of it just to even this color out to where I want it. God, the amount of chemistry that goes into this stuff is wonderful, but also, oh my god, it's so much. Alright. And that's not quite purpley enough, so we are going to go with a little bit of the violet. 2, 3. Gotta go, need to charge. Okay, have fun at work, love you. I hope your day is going to be great, darling. There we go. Needs a little bit more purple though. It's not quite where I want it. 3 more drops. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Maybe a tone of lavender. Alright, quick comparison to this guy. It is a much darker tone than this one, so that is good. Alright, so then, here's what we got. Not really sure how to get a better comparison with how clear this guy is. And just light, being how it is. But I think I got the right color going here. Trying to make sure your friend enters, even if you can't, you know he can. Which one's the friend that you wanted to enter? I know you talked about him, one of the last times in the Discord, but I can't remember their name. Alright, let's scrape. Alrighty. Clean this off. He goes by Gem Kadechi. I don't recognize the name offhand, so I'll have to go over and check on him. Doing seething basil. That is gonna be beautiful. I'm definitely gonna go take a look. Oh god, Monster Hunter cosplays are so much fun, and they are just the detailing you can get with them. I still need to do Odo Garrett just so we can all have a Monster Hunter cosplay group one of these days. Oops. Oh, with a functioning switch axe! Bro, now I have to see it even more. Because, goddamn, the people who are able to do, like, the full motion props, I give them so much kudos. Because I've tried doing them on a couple of rare occasions, and they are so hard to get right. Okay, come on. I need you to sit correctly so it won't overflow. There we are. Alright, that's good. And then, shoot, where's my... It's up there. No, because that's a pair, which means this is one here. Oof, that one is pressing itself down a bit too much. So I'm going to scoot this over here to give it its own elevation. That's one bad thing about this is with how weird these mold shapes are, I have to be super careful with them and make sure they lay correctly, or they will warp themselves, and I don't want that. There. Super slow. Small stream. And there. That should be good. Then, yep, got leftovers, so back to the side mold. He also twitches too. Ooh, I'll have to go and watch him sometimes then. Alright, pour this in here. Like, I'm gonna have so many of these, technical trash resin gems. We were thinking about turning some of them into jewelry if we could. I'm just really not sure what that would look like or how yet. Oh, this one's got some pigment in it. there we go. You're pretty much empty. Still a little bit left. You'll take 50? I mean, I think I've got close to that right now. I was in all of my time practicing on making gems, like this giant box of throwaways. Like, these ones have big holes in them, they didn't cure properly, more holes in the middle, weird one that is green with red glitter in it, a plain green that has like a hollow coating, and then lots of holes. Almost every single one of these has had holes because the previous resin I was using just it really it set faster than what I needed it to, which of course meant that it would hold bubbles, and I needed a pressure pot or degasser something to make it work. But since I don't have one, I couldn't. So when I found the video on the crystal wings and it's like, it doesn't require a pressure pot, I was like, oh, I need that, because then I don't need a pressure pot either, and I can hopefully get these gems to turn out crystal clear like his wings, and it's working! Like, this has been the highlight of my build so far. Alright, clean out my cup, and then I can move on to the next part. As the last color we need is the pale purple, which was these two here. Don't go away, I need my reference still. Start patterning the mask this weekend. Oh, if you want, we can video chat while you do that, because I would love to watch you do that. Plus, I'm really excited to see how you tackle the pattern for the mask after how you've designed it. Come on. Oh, there we go. Anytime. Sweet. Alright, there we go. Very hands-on, yes. I think most of the people in our little cosplay friend group are super hands-on when it comes to their creative process. Like Steampunkery with her painting and her rusting jobs are just, they're phenomenal. She does so much just for that detailing alone on the painting. And it's like, wow. Every single time I see it, I love it so much. Alright, let's see. Got that. This one can go over here now since I don't need to look at it for more reference. Alright, the next one is, pretty sure I said this already, dull purple. Number 7, which is these two. Or pale purple. Words. Wow. You can do this, Tilly. Alright, so these two, and because of how I have my antlers set up, I've been using this snow dye in it. It is a very milky color, so instead of them being like fully crystal clear, they have a fog in them, which we've been doing mainly because of how the antlers are going to be sitting on my head. And like, this is the bottom area where these milk colored ones are gonna go. And because of how it sits, these ones are very easy to see, and if I were to do them completely clear like these guys, you'd be able to see the LED strips that are going in there much easier. So by doing them in a milky color, it kind of diffuses that light a little bit more, and it makes the wiring harder to see. Steamy is good noodle? Yes, Steamy is very good noodle. Okay. So then I need to... You're not spilling, are you? Nope, good. It's not spilling. Alright, these ones are bigger than these guys, so I think I'm going to go 30 on my part B, which would mean I need 60, so that means about 90 in here. I'm not sure if that'll be too much, but if it is, fine, I'm totally okay with that. I just don't want to have too little and have to repour and color match all over again. And it appears that I am like so close on this, and I'm so glad I bought the size containers that I did. Because it seems I'm gonna have just barely enough for all of this build. Right, so 30, and then now I go up to 90. There we are. Alright. There we go. And then I think I'm gonna go lavender. No, we'll go violet on this one first. 3, 4 dots. And then we gotta be careful with mixing because our cup is nearly full. Gotta head out for now. Message you on Discord. Awesome. I will see you later, Facade. See ya. Alrighty. Okay, I'm liking the color, but it needs a little bit more. So I'm gonna add 2 more of the violet, then add 1 snow. Alright, that's looking better, but it's not quite milky enough, so I think we'll have to up my the snow concentration. And I'm going to add some more violet just to counteract that, because the main goal of using snow is to add the milky texture. Texture? Color? Color, I think. Most you guys get what I mean, without, even though I fumble my words. Alrighty. Swish, swish, swish. Alrighty. Let's see, comparing that to you, much better. Alright, I think we got this one perfect. There. Alright. Alright, there we go. Food. This one. Hello there, what are you? Stuck in the mold. Oh, you're a little bit of resin. Okay, I guess you just didn't get pulled off earlier. As one of the main reasons why this one wasn't poured as a batch with the other guys is because I learned, oops. After I filled up this guy here, way over here, it started to spill into here because apparently these two were sitting too close together when I made my mold base. And you know, that sucks, but no big deal. It's an easy fix. I just had to cast them separately, but it did mean that some of the resin from the other one leaked into this one. And oops, I spilled some resin. That sucks. That is a-okay though. I have the extra that is over in the other area that I can use. Alright, all clean. Now I just have to adjust this a little bit, and it'll be all set. Oop, there we go. Yeah, that needs to stay there. I need one more though. There. Much better. This one does have a little bit of an edge here that is not good. I did not notice that before, so I have to blockade it somehow. Hot glue should work. As I have some hot glue and some paper I can use, that acts as a very nice separator. And since this stuff has a roughly 20-minute work time, that means we have enough time to wait for this to heat up, get that done, and while that heats up, I don't know. I guess while that heats up, I can work on the other part of the antlers that I still have to do. So this is one part on the other half. This one hasn't been fully assembled with its friend yet, mainly because sadly, even though I modeled half of the antlers, and then I flipped everything for the printer. For some unknown reason, when the other half went to printing, it ended up a different size on only one particular area. Where is that piece? Which was this one over here, which somehow, God, I wish I could figure it out. This piece ended up being about that much short. And while I do have the time to reprint it, my base idea has been to just find a different way to fill in this gap and rework it. So far, I've been thinking about just using some Worbla as well as cut down chopsticks to act as my support structure underneath. The other problem is when I had these ones printed compared to these guys, even though I asked for like a 5mm wall, these ones were printed at like a 2mm wall at the most, I want to say. So the lip on this guy is much thicker, they're much stronger. These ones are just better prints. And thankfully there are ways around that. I've just done a lot of structuring on these pieces here. But because we didn't know until after we printed this one out, which was a few months after these were printed, we didn't know about the shape difference and size, which has been quite frustrating, and I haven't been able to figure it out. Because like even when you put it in here, this one is sadly shorter. And I haven't been able to troubleshoot it too much yet. So we'll grab some E6000, some extra popsicle sticks, and we'll get working on that part while we wait for this to heat up. Hello E6000, I've got you. Alright, glue. Then popsicle sticks are over here. Or, not popsicle sticks. Chopsticks. As for some reason I've learned, chopsticks are wonderful for resin and 3D. They are quite versatile and very nice to use. Plus, if you need to, you can always super glue one to the back of a 3D printed piece for painting. And I think that is one of the main reasons why I started testing them for other stuff like this. But since they've been working, it's kind of like awesome. I can just keep going with this. Alright, that cap is on. That cap is on. Now I can't spill any of the dye. I'm going to set you back here for now. Well, hold on. This guy is completely ready. So I'm going to move him out of our way. Hopefully without spilling. Wahaha. And you are the one I use for mixing, so I'm going to put you over here. And then I am just going in and trying to cut them all roughly the same length. It's okay if they're a little bit different. I can make adjustments later. This guy is a bit longer. I'm not really going to cut this part down. I don't need to worry about that too much. Then I'm going to take the interior of this guy, and that's where all three of these are going to go. Oh, hello resin spot. I'm glad I saw you so I didn't drop anything on you. This makes me quite happy. I usually talk to myself while I work because then I hope it's not too boring. But I am still considering adding music to the background somehow. I just know there's a lot of music rules and stuff when it comes to Twitch. And I'd rather not get in trouble on my first couple streams. There. Alright. Spill is cleaned up. And now I can get to the E6000. Now, one big thing I do whenever I'm working with this is I do grab my mask and I put it on because, well, I'm asthmatic. So chemicals and that kind of stuff really set off my asthma, makes it super hard to breathe, and I don't like that. So of course, safety first. I've learned that for stuff like E6000, a basic mask works for me, but if I go up higher to stuff like spray paints, more potent, more potent glues, things like that, then I do have to go for a higher rated mask. I'm hoping to get a new respirator at some point because I have been doing more spray painting and that kind of stuff, which does require a little bit more protection. But for now, this has been good for some of the basic indoor activities I've been doing. Right, and then I do have to be careful on my placement for this part because underneath is the hole for this guy, so I'm probably going to put most of my structure on the front end And I will reinforce the back end structure a little bit later. Alright, there we go. 1 down, 2 to go. Aha. I'm trying to be careful so I don't get my fingers in on this stuff. There. Oop, come on. There we go. 1 more. And then I can let this cure for a while. And thankfully the spacing of these guys should not affect the wiring portion too much. I just have to be a little bit more careful later on with how I go about adding the wires so that nothing gets jogged around or messed up. There. And then that should act as a decent enough base for when I get to go through and add the top portion of this guy. Because like even though it's that much, having the extra base room is going to be much more helpful. And I will need to do a little bit of cushioning and padding on this guy, so the one I put in earlier has to come out. And I'll just have to make sure I don't break anything when I remove this guy. Because even though I can pad things back out again afterwards with some spot putty, I would rather not. Alright, that's good. Going to close up this container. Those a little bit. Alright, now this guy just needs to cure, so I'm going to set it over here. Because I pretty much just hang stuff from my pegboard to let it cure most of the time. Awesome, this is now hot enough for us to use. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the paper, the Reynolds wrap, because, I mean, this stuff is good. It can create nice little barriers, it doesn't stick to resin. All in all, it works. So I'll just cut a little nugget of paper. I'm going to glue the nuggets together so they're a little bit stronger. Come on, there we go. Nope, open back up. There we go. Alright, nice and warm. Then just gonna do some lines like this around and attach it, alright, directly on the side of my mold box. Definitely not the most professional way, but it'll work for me. Because cosplay gods know I am not pro. Would I like to be? Maybe. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I just have fun with this for now. It is a very nice hobby to have. And I just like making stuff. There. Alrighty, that's all good. And I'm going to finish pouring. And now even if it does get up against the edge of the paper, I don't have to worry. Oh, that is a bit much. So we're going to, there we go, adjust.
I did.
What is the thing?
It's an Oreo cheesecake cupcake.
Oh my god, that looks amazing. Oh, you guys went to Terra, didn't you?
Yeah, so I wasn't able to get you a hot
Gotta go
chocolate.
to work. Okay, thank you. Have fun at work, darling. Oh, and we got another follow. Thank you so much. Oh, but dang, this cupcake is so cute. I don't know where to set it down. Oh, I'll show you guys because they just got home from going out and cupcake. God, this is gonna be the best cheat day. I try not to eat sweets very often. Pictures show it. Okay, let me try and get it out of the box. And I'll just put it right back in because I will eat it when we are done. This will be my treat for after first stream. Ta-da! Cute little cupcake. I really like the cafes near us because they go all out on like their designs and stuff. And they're just so cute. Alright, into the box you go. There. Right, there you go. Got it. Oopsie. That is spilling out a little bit, but I don't mind. It's okay to get messy. Because I can clean it back up. And I'm just happy that the entire mold is filled. And you can actually even see it just a little bit up over here where the hole is. Thankfully, I put enough resin in this guy that it didn't cause a lot of the spill. Or it spilled, but not enough that it's going to like really deplete this one's levels. Like I may go back in and add a little bit more once the timer on it is up, just so I can even it out. Otherwise, for the moment, I'm going to clean up just a little bit of this spill. That way it does not overtake the desk and get on my cutting mat because those are hard to clean up. Like granted, this cutting mat is super old and I need to replace it, but I don't feel like it yet. Oh, come on. Let go. There we go. Ha ha ha. Right, it's so pretty. I love the bakeries that we have in our area. A lot of them especially go hardcore when it comes to making their own food, like space and everything, instead of just, oh, we'll buy blank ingredients and buy the entire mix and just put it together ourselves. Which has been a very nice change of pace from some of the old cafes we had in our other town. Because I'm a sucker for home-baked sweets. I think they're good and they just really stand out from others. There. Alright, got that one. And now, alright, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna do these ones later because I still have to repair that hole. Not sure how I'm gonna do it yet, but we'll figure it out as we go. This guy looks like he is okay, but he does need a little bit of a top off thanks to our spill from earlier. So I'm going to grab a syringe. Oh, nope, that's my paint syringe. I have multiples. And then I'm just going to take some of the leftovers in here. And thankfully I poured them all at different intervals, so that helped me out personally to remember where they are. Because these 4 here are from the first one that we poured. So then that means it's these 3 here, because these are my second, and this is my third. So I'm just going to go in and suck up what I can. And then we're going to add it back in. This is another reason why I like to have more resin than what I think I need. because I can fix any spills with ease. There. Then, because I've learned that this is the easiest way for me to clean it, I just pop this out. And I'm going to set it here. Alright, then move this guy over. Then, since I've got all of this stuff ready, I do want to add a little bit more glue onto the side of this. Just to make that seal a bit more solid, since this thing is going to be sitting for a few days. And there we go. Alright, and that should be good for some extra sealing. Clear that off. This makes me super glad I've got a 2 temp. Otherwise, I would have likely burned myself by now. Ha ha ha! Ingenuity! We make it work. Alright, then now I just have to let everything cure up. I've got to figure out how to move these around so I can get a little bit more workspace for the other part we have to do next. So we're just going to go super slow. There we go. Come on. Hold on. There you go. Don't let go. Wonderful. That's holding up pretty good. So it should let me move it. Alright. Scoot over a little bit more. Whoops. No, don't fall! No! Dang it. I just needed you to scoot over, not fall over. Alright, well, that's okay. I still have more resin I can pour into them. So we're just going to finish sliding. Okay, so easy fix. I still have enough of my colors. Now I'm going to have some extra things I can play with too, which not bad. That'll be fun. There we go. You, I need more of. So back over here to the extras bin. Pop this back together. Alright, and refill. Alright, that looks pretty good. I might add just a smidgen more. Alright, that is good. Gonna slide this a little bit over here. And good. Alrighty. Ha ha ha. Another 4. And all good. Alright, so I'm gonna get these guys capped off. Move all of this back over to the other side of the table. And I'm gonna wipe some of this up because I don't like my hands feeling sticky. There we go. Down. There we go. So, right, moving this. And I'm just going to use this color to top off some of the other ones we poured earlier. Give them a little bit of a two-tone effect. Because why not? I just gotta let that drain for a little bit. We can unplug this guy and put him back on his pedestal. Back on the pegboard you go. You guys come in forward. Alright, those can set aside because I didn't use them yet. You guys can still sit on here. This can get thrown away. Alright, got that one. I think this is something I've gotten much better at over time. It's the whole, cleaning up after myself instead of just letting messes pile up in my cosplay space. Because I was really, really bad at that before. And since we moved, I've been able to slow down, take my time, get more things clean, and keep it clean. It's been really good doing that too, because it's also been helping me out mentally. Because, I can come in going okay, my space is nice and clean, I can sit down and I can just start working. Instead of worrying that, oh crap, I have to get in there, clean up, and then work. It's just been a very good change of pace since we moved. There we go. Food. Alright, this guy is empty. We'll rinse it out because I can't mix these two resin types together since they are very different formulas mixing wise. While the deep pour slow is a, of course, slow cure 2-part to 1-part resin. This guy over here is just a UV protectant coating resin. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. So mixing wise, they do not go well together, but thankfully this resin type acts as a very nice coating when it comes to protecting the colors on these guys. And since I just get to paint it on completely clear, I don't have to worry about any extra steps like coloring it, which I appreciate very much. Right, you still feel yuck. Ooh. There we go, nice and clear. I'm not really sure, depending on how far we get today, what I'll work on the next time I stream. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to like stream my process daily because I do work on cosplay near every day. The only days I don't really work on cosplay technically are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because Monday is my filming day for YouTube. Tuesday is the editing day, so I can edit what I filmed the day before, and then Wednesday is my computer work day, which is stuff like digitizing sewing patterns and that stuff. Oh, hi Timeline! It's so good to see you. Work peak. Oh, you're at work. I hope the work is going well today. There we go. Little mini containers. I like these ones just because they get me perfectly even results. Because for these ones I've learned I can't just do the regular pour method like I can with the deep pour. Because their own general viscosity is so different from what I normally do. Alright, you guys can scoot over there so I can see my chat board better. Ha ha ha. So don't pour in there, you know what you're doing. A fresh with ideas. Ooh. What ideas do you have, if you don't mind my asking? Almost 200. Got it. There. Oh, gotta get back? Awesome. Okay, I'll see you later, darling. Thank you. Slow down just a little bit. Ooh, careful. Just a little bit more. This one is an especially picky resin, I've learned. If it's not as exact as possible, it will not cure properly. And this is also the one that I've learned cures with a ton of bubbles, which is the main reason why I'm using it for coating on the top instead of like actual casting. Alright, I need a brush to paint it on. I need one that I am willing to throw away afterwards. So let's see. I mean, I can always buy another brush pack. It's just annoying to go out and do that because I don't like going out. I am very much a homebody, and I like it that way. But if I have to go out, I will. Let's see which one. Alright, I think this one will be the best brush I can use for this. Alright, so brush, chopstick for mixing, and now we dump. Oh, hands. Move you back underneath into your cubby. And then since I'm not using the pigments anymore, I put the pigments away. Alright, all good. Pigments are back in their hidey hole. I'm not going to be using these two anymore today, so I can put them back as well. There we go. That's good. Then wait and let that one pour while I move some more of this stuff away because it does not need to be right next to us. Then, right, I can go there. Since we're not using the book anymore, the book can also go. And clean workspace again. Woohoo! Alright, you are... Alright, you're setting up really good. We're just gonna set you upside down right over here so you're not completely in the way anymore. And I can move this. There we go. Better viewpoint. Now I can see everything so much easier. Oh shoot, I do have to go back through and remember which ones were ready and which ones weren't. I think we're good. Alright, I know I got all the points to a point where they were ready. This one needed more. This one is good. That one's also good. Call it good. Be less picky. Alright, you definitely need more. Good. Smooth. And that one's good. So then it's mainly those two that I need to do some Dremel work on. These guys here are pretty much good and can be coated. So we're gonna mix all of this together. Alright, looks like more of this one I can pour in. There we go. Wonderful. Now the next part that does get a little bit tricky is I have to be extremely selective on how I'm coating these guys. Otherwise, it won't turn out very well. Just because, you know, they have to be smooth. I can't let anything touch them after I'm done with this. And if they sit down on anything, there is the risk of them picking up that item's texture just from sitting on it. Because after this goes on, it does act like a new coating. So, I'm going to grab another Reynolds sheet. Scoot this over just a little. And we're just going to lay this down. Ha ha ha. And then this paintbrush will never be used for paint again. It will likely be thrown away after this, sadly. Sorry, paintbrush. It has to be done. Then I'm just going to go on and we are going to paint our clear protection on top. And I have to be super careful. I can't touch any of the fresh resin. Otherwise it is guaranteed that it will leave fingerprints. And I really don't want to leave fingerprints on it. Especially paying attention to back here, because even though this is a slow cure and most of the bubbles rose to get out, because of the way the mold is set up, some of them did get trapped up here in this little hump area where the air just could not manage to go back down and get out. Which I've thankfully already come up with a couple ways how I can remedy that situation on the next fill, on the next pour. I'm only going to fill them up partially with the mold tipped, and then once like 5-10 minutes have passed and most of the bubbles have escaped, I'm going to then rotate the mold back into the flat position, and that will let me fill it up to the rest of the mark without adding any more bubbles into the bottom portion. Alright. And then almost there. Wonderful. All good. Scoot you guys away just in case that guy falls over. There's a lot of benefits for adding on this extra coating. Not only is it just a basic UV protectant that will make sure these guys don't yellow over time because of the sun, but it also makes them a little bit more clear and glossy. Because even though I did gloss all of my pieces before we went in to make the mold itself, the molds didn't come out perfectly clear, which is a-okay. I don't expect them to come out perfectly clear because it was my first time, but it was good because it gave me a learning point and where I can improve on my skills. Because before I did this, I spent hours just watching other people making molds, what they did, their own individual tips and tricks for their mold making styles. One in particular was Fluxit. All of his molds come out so glossy because he goes in and he does such clear glosses on them in like heavy layers. But it works out very well because then he gets supremely smooth glossy resin out of it. Another fun one is, gosh, what were their names? They make the trophies. Oh god, that's gonna bug me. Gosh, they make a lot of the trophies for like the big gaming tournaments. The name is currently escaping me, but like the work from those guys and their mold making, they actually go super hardcore. They make full 3D printed mold jackets just so they can cut down on how much silicone and everything that they're using, which I personally think is amazing. It really cuts down on the type of, or well, not really type, but the amount of environmental impact that they have. Because, you know, resin and stuff is costly, and the fact that they're doing it that way means that they're using less silicone. They reuse some of the silicone in other molds whenever those molds aren't necessary anymore, and they just, you know, quote unquote die. Because molds do not last forever, I've learned from all of my research. They will eventually hit the end of their life. Like, I remember Fluxit saying, depending on the colors and pigmentation of the molds that he's using, will affect them. Once a mold stops giving him a very glossy resin print or resin casting, he will stop using that one and he'll make a new one for it, which is like, oh my god, that dedication and just wow, so much wow. I hope to someday get on that level, but I know it's going to be a while, and I'm okay with that. I'm having fun with what I do for now. There we go. God, that is looking so smooth. It's also really nice just to paint this on. It's so relaxing. And thankfully my brush isn't really leaving any strokes behind. The resin is right away just leveling itself. Which is good. I think this one was like a 20-minute time. I do think I'm going to have to do a couple layers on the back here though to fill in some of these bubbles that did not escape. At least I have learned from this and I can do better next time. I'm just all in all happy how these are turning out, because dang, this is, aside from when I started Spyro, this is definitely turning into one of my bigger scaled builds. Like, I still have to finish Spyro. I'm hoping to enter that one into C2E2 if it happens this year. Otherwise, technically C2E2 next year. So more than likely, after all of my stuff for Xerneas is done, I'll start streaming my Spyro progress. I'm just a little bit more nervous on streaming that one because currently 90% of what I need to do on that build is just sewing on scales, which of course gets extremely repetitive and boring, even with a lot of talking, because you're just seeing the same motion, different words. There we go. Red, it's your turn. Don't drop, don't drop. There. Ha ha ha. Ooh, yeah, this one got a ton of bubbles on the back. Doesn't really surprise me. This one has a worse angle than the others when it came to how it was set and poured. But already this is starting to fill some of those holes and make it much more smooth and clean. There we go. Come on. Nice and smooth. Tap a little bit more. I might come back and do another coat on the back of this one just because not all the bubbles are going away yet. That's okay. I have time to perfect. And these are just becoming much clearer after painting this on. God, I'm glad I have a before picture because I'll be able to do a fun comparison with these things. Yes. Alright, flip just a little bit more. Don't drop it. Ha ha ha. Oh, there we go.
Super careful. Right there. Alright, I can't quite get where my fingers are, but I can easily go back and do another pass right down there without having to worry. There we go. Set down. Alrighty, time for the little guys. These ones are especially nice though. I think just because of how these ones were laid out in the mold helped these guys lose the majority of their bubbles. So they are the smoothest ones that I have in the entire set. Not sure how these guys are going to fully cure, but we'll wait and see. Because they are going to be sitting there for a few days until they're done. Oof, nice. I did think about the possibility of adding some color to this, but then I would have had done what I did before with the color matching and everything. It did not seem like a very smart idea. Oh, that is getting like super shiny. Do have to be careful because I'm getting closer to my finger and I don't want to accidentally drop it. So I think I will call it for this one for now. And we'll set that down. There. Set on. God, I wish I could bring you guys down here to get a better look. Whenever I'm able to adjust camera settings, I will, and then we'll make this a little bit smoother. Sweet. Smooth as glass. That was one of the big things when I first decided to take on this character. I think it was actually around this time last year that I was trying to decide, and I was really torn between Xerneas and Gardevoir. Well, the mega version of Gardevoir. Because, I mean, I haven't made a full-size ball gown in a very long time, so my brain was just like, okay, let's see. What do others really want to watch us make? And it ended up being a 50-50 tie on both Instagram and Facebook on which one people wanted to see. So of course that meant I had to sit down, think about it a lot more, figure out what I wanted to do and which one I wanted to tackle so I could learn new things. And it's like, well, I do a lot of sewing as it is. And I love sewing a lot. But I also know that I need to branch into other techniques. So looking at Xerneas, it was like, okay, this one would have a bigger focus on a prop, the antlers, and it would be really cool just to make something different like this. So eventually, I did land on doing Xerneas, and I'm just going to do Gardevoir a little bit later. But it's been super fun. Like after that, I right away started working on the antlers for 3D modeling them, which took me the longest time out of anything in this build. Just because like 3D modeling is not my forte. I do feel after that I've gotten quite a lot better, and I've gotten to talk to more people who do specialize in 3D modeling to kind of get some tips and tricks and see how they do their builds, which has been super neat and helpful. I'm really hoping I can put some of what they've told me into practice in some of my future builds. Oof, there we go. Get some more down. Just all in all, like this has been a very fun, explorative build to really test out my skills and what I want to do. And I've learned like I do quite enjoy prop making. Like it's been very fun. I did learn pretty early, like I am not good at sculpting, Even in high school art classes, sculpting was something I had a lot of difficulty with, so being able to try that in a computer program like Blender, where I didn't have to worry about, oh crap, I just took off too much, and I could actually add it back on without wasting materials, that made me pretty happy. I really like 3D printing for that specific thing. Is it has a lot less waste than other mediums that I can think of. It's like carving, foam, and styrofoam, you do have a ton of waste that eventually you can't do anything with. It hits to be too small, and it's just, I don't like leaving that waste. I still use foam on some projects like armors, but being able to 3D print out my details without wasting anything was very nice and made me feel much more economically friendly. And I'm hoping I can keep doing that in the future. Like, I know not all of my builds will be able to be fully eco-friendly, but at least having a start on it. Nope, don't touch those two. Those ones are not ready. Is a very good thing. Like a Timeline or Lady KT, who was in here earlier, she is a good friend of mine. We've gone to a lot of cons together. We've competed a bunch alongside each other. And one of the builds she's working on is Mothra, and she's been doing eco-friendly fabrics and sourcing for it. And her information and her knowledge on the subject is extremely vast. She's so cool, and she's very passionate about being able to be more eco-friendly in her work lately. Because, like, originally when she was looking at some of her Mothra designs, she wanted to use silk, because, you know, silk does come from different insect species and the silkworms. However, when she looked more into how it was made, she didn't like it at all and wanted to find something that was better. Like, even piece silk, sadly, does cause a lot of harm to, oopsie, oop, I touched that, dang it. Even piece silk is not very friendly to the silkworms. It's still very detrimental to them, and that was one thing she really didn't like. So she used that, and she started to move forward and looking for alternatives until she found the bamboo fabric, which is a very nice alternative. It's much more ecologically friendly. It doesn't hurt any of the insects, and it actually gives them more homes, just because, you know, you have to grow and cultivate the bamboo, which means you need insects to help with that cultivation so that they grow healthy and strong, which is really nice in general. It provides so much more for these insects, which it's been really cool to listen and follow along with her learning and her progress as she's gone through this. And it's also helped me get some more inspiration for some of my own builds on, like, okay, how would I add this in, and what techniques do I already do that are a little bit more eco-friendly. All in all, it's been a very nice experience just going through that together and watching her learn about it. Plus, whenever I find like a fun article, I'll throw it her way and just be like, hey, I think this might help you. Or if I just see something fun that I think she'd enjoy, I toss that over to her. There we go. Nice and smooth. Oh, hey. This one actually has a thumbprint. Oh yeah, I touched this one earlier when it was still curing to see if it was done because I was being impatient. Whoopsie. At least I'm becoming much more patient. It has taken a while, but I'm getting there. We're always growing and learning. Whew. Alright, there we go. This one is almost done. I can't quite remember how long this one took to fully cure, so I am going to have to look at that on the bottle. Scoot over. Do, do, do. Okay, so this does take 24 hours to do its thing. That is okay though. Because more than likely I can just keep rotating these guys and coating them up as certain layers starts to set in. There we go. Got it. Ha ha ha. That is becoming very nice and smooth. Sweep, sweep, sweep. I think mainly because these ones are coming out so good, I will probably take some time after this just to work on a few other props. I likely won't go through and stream on some of those ones though, because they're ones like my glass daggers, which 90% of that right now is just going in and sanding, which is very boring of a process. It takes a long time. It's just not the most interesting. Ooh, careful. Spin around so we can get back to here. Paint that smooth again. Nice, that is actually working out very well already. Majority of those bubbles are gone. There's still a couple that remain that I can slowly paint out. I'm wondering with every pass I pick up more of the air that was in there and deposit more of the resin. There we go. And then we'll just slide around, get this edge. Ha ha ha. Alright, back down you go. Oop, careful. Stay on the paper because that is the safest surface. Alright, down on the bottom again. Ha ha ha. Smooth. This is looking very nice. God, I'm feeling so proud of myself right now. Because while I do like my past work, I definitely feel I am starting to hit a period of rapid growth. Like, my corsets are getting better, my prop making skills are thankfully getting much, much better. I'm learning a lot more, and I'm been able to do more in general when it comes to the cosplays and props that I want to accomplish. It's just been very, very nice. Oops, sit down. Alright, yeah, that wants to lay back down on the side. That's fine. Alrighty, this guy is next. Ooh, there we go. I'm just still struggling to figure out what cosplay in particular I'm going to do after all of these guys are done. It's like I do have Destroya planned as a group with timeline, because she's going to be Mothra, and you know, the kaijus are just, they're super fun. Destroya has always been my favorite of the kaijus. As I mean, especially like lore-wise, when it comes to strength, Destroya is quite up there with Godzilla. In fact, one of the only reasons that Godzilla beat Destroya was because Godzilla partnered up with the military, and my brain just goes, that's cheating. We're talking like raw strength, just the monsters. Destroya would have totally won. There we go. Nice and painted. lay back down. Ooh, okay, you guys are not touching. That is good. I grab this guy. There we go. Painting a nice coating on. Nope, up here. Alright, almost there. Sweet. Alright, got that done. Oops. Did get a little bit on my hand again. Should be fine. I'm trying not to blow through all of the wipes I have because these things are getting much more expensive. Oops, careful. Nobody touching. There, no one's touching. There we go. Ooh, careful. Don't want to spill too much. And holding it like this means I can get closer to the edge points. It just does hurt a little bit because that means the points are stabbing me. There we go. Almost fully coated. How's that look? Right there. And nice and smooth. Alright, next one. There. I remember this UV coating is mostly used on tables, which was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess. So then, like, jumping to use it like this is a little bit strange. When I tried talking to a couple people in, like, craft stores, I was not taken very seriously on it, which was a bit of a bummer, considering, like, you know, crafting has many different uses. Resin is not just used for tables and jewelry. But I guess I should also kind of come to understand it a bit more, because not everyone is very open to some of the weird stuff cosplayers do, especially when it comes to mixing mediums. Oof, there we go. It's a very nice gloss. God, these things are so shiny. I feel like with each layer I paint on, they're just getting shinier, and that makes me super happy. There's like one goal photo I do have in mind for this one is, so in September I will be attending the private event Light Fantastic again, which, God, Light Fantastic is wonderful. It's this entire event dedicated to getting awesome photos for both cosplayers and photographers alike. So like they do go through a, you have to put in an application, see if you get accepted. If you get accepted, then, whoopsie. Oh, there you go. Phew. If you get accepted, then of course comes up your pay for the event, and then figure out what you're gonna bring. I have majority of my choices picked out. I wanted to bring Xerneas to it last year, but after a piece broke last September, I realized, okay, I am rushing this way too much. I need to stop. I can bring something else, and I'll just bring this next year when it's actually going to look its best. So that's what I did. I let Anthony H. Nguyen know. He's the one who runs the event, and he was also who I was supposed to shoot this with. Of, hey, here's what's happened. I am going to bring this instead. But it has given me so much more time to think, and one of the goal photos I've landed on is I'd love to get a moonrise shot with this one. Because I have a feeling that the angles and just the way the light would hit it would look extremely beautiful. And I don't know, I like the idea of just getting like a twilight time photo for this one, with just the moon in the background glittering on the antlers. I'll have to wait and see, because we still haven't gotten our schedule yet for Light Fantastic, mainly because he's still making it and figuring out who's going to shoot with who. Because the entire event is quite rouletted. He goes through, he picks out what cosplayers are going to work with what photographers. You chat with your photographer before the event just to plan out and like, hey, here's what I'm bringing. You coordinate on your ideas and what you have in mind. And it was especially fun last year because I got to work with every photographer I worked with there but one was somebody who I had never met or worked with before. So I really got to explore other photographers' styles, see new things and new people, and I got to make a lot of great friends, which was probably the highlight of my weekend, because at that point we'd been in lockdown for quite some time, and you know, social batteries needed a little bit of time to recharge and get to know new people. There we go. Come on. There we are. Good. I do need to wipe off my hands because they're starting to bug me just a little bit. And while we were up there, it was really wonderful. Washington Island is like right off the tip of Door County in Wisconsin. The only way to get to the island is if you have your own boat or you have to take the ferry to get across, which, gosh, that ferry is super expensive. It's like $40 for the vehicle, then another $20 per person, which meant, you know, once we got there, none of us wanted to leave the island. We just kind of, you know, we wanted to stay and sit and just explore what was there. Thankfully, though, the island does have its own permanent population, as well as shops, businesses, other different, what's the word I'm looking for? Other different establishments that are there year-round. For instance, they have a lavender farm up there. Sadly, by the time we get there in September, the lavender is completely harvested, but it is still quite the beautiful area to go to and just walk around. That's where we did my REM photos. Not REM, RAM photos. REM photos were taken in West Virginia. And like, even without having all of the lavender surrounding us, it was beautiful. We really got to just explore the island, see what things it unlocked. Some of the others ended up doing like full sunset or sunrise shoots. I think it was Friday and Saturday that they did them, because by Sunday we were honestly all quite exhausted. We'd spent a lot of our time just up, get ready, get out to the shoot, get back, change, and then go out again. It was definitely worthwhile though, and it's an experience I'm really glad I got to get last year, and I'm super happy that I get to go again this year. Plus, like, meeting new cosplayers while I was there was very therapeutic. I've gotten to see new techniques and watch how other people grow and do their own thing. Like, one of the people I met last year was Aha, and she's incredibly sweet. I absolutely love her energy. She's very nice and very considerate, and it was fun just getting to sit and chat with her about costumes and what we wanted to do in the future. There was also Frey. She also does Twitch. I was able to watch her a lot yesterday. And she's been working on her Berserk armor for Guts, and that one has just been wonderful to watch and see how it's all coming together. it makes me super excited to see it in person in September. And I'm just like, yes, the excitement is just so palpable. She's also supposed to be bringing Teresa from, oh god, words are not my friend. I think it was Claymore? Hold on, I can figure this out. Buttons, buttons, buttons. Do 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 do. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Cosplans. Yes, Teresa is from Claymore. There we go. Got it. And like after that, one of the things that was especially really cool is a bunch of us were talking in the group from like Fantastic, and we decided to start a D&D campaign. And like since we moved, we haven't really been able to do a D&D campaign. It's been really hard to meet up with people, especially given the whole we're under quarantine circumstances, and lots of people don't want to go out because they have kids or spouses who are high risk, and I don't blame them. Keep people safe. That is the best thing to do. It just does get a little sad because I miss seeing my friends, and these were fun activities we always got to do together. So being able to do a new D&D campaign with the people from Like Fantastic has been super fun. We have so many different races. We have, like, I'm a Drider. We have a Verdin. Of course, we have the classic humans, orcs, them guys, because what D&D campaign would not have one? And Darius, Aha's boyfriend, I think he's her boyfriend. I could be wrong. I will double check with her later. He's been running the game, and he has been a very good DM. It's been fun to experience another person's DMing style, because I've only really gotten to play with 2 separate groups, and I've gotten used to the way that they run things, so this has been a very good, fresh perspective on how other people can do their campaigns. And I've just had a ton of fun with it. In general, all of the, like, let's just have fun. It's been very therapeutic. I look forward to it since we normally do every other Monday. Sometimes people end up being a little bit too busy, or somebody's not feeling good, so we postpone, which I don't mind. I want everybody to feel their best when we get together in game and have it be something that they can really enjoy instead of start dreading down the road. There we go. A little bit more right there, so I can smooth that out. Yes, there we go. And then I think this should be good. I do want to check your underside just a bit more. Sorry, I will be right back to story in just 1 second. I want to make sure I get this nice and smooth, because after this coating, I'm going to call these guys good, and they will be left to sit and cure. Here we go. And then underside of this guy next. Come on, lift up. There we go. There. Yep, nice and smooth now. God, this is going to be so nice when it's completely finished. Alright, I'm going to just leave that there. All the big ones are triple coated. Now I just have to focus on the tinies. Shoot, where did I leave off? I was on the D&D campaign. I talked a little bit about just, right, wanting everybody to feel their best whenever we play. Because we have had a decent number of meets since, I think we started in November, was our official technical start dates. Oh, you guys need to scoot over. You're too close to touching. I don't need you guys to fuse together. And we have had quite a few really fun meets. We've had some battles. We ended up actually making friends-ish with a demon named Tri. I think it was Tri, the triple demon thingy. He's got such an obsession with 3. We have, in order to come in, like, we've only seen him once, but now whenever we want to go down there for our little tea break with 3 cups of tea, we do have to send the forms in triplicates and stuff like that, which is so fun, and I'm very excited to start, playing that out and having even more fun just, digging around with it to see what we can do. And just all this weird, fun stuff that I've never gotten to experience in D&D campaigns before. It's like, we have gone through demons, but normally when it comes to demons, we ended up fight the demon and then go on our way. But this time it's like, no, we actually made a friend contract with this demon, and I'm super excited to see how it's going to play out. One of our other teammates ended up coming back with cats. 3 monster cat things. I don't remember their names off the top of my head. Once I do, I will probably talk about them again later, or I'll just make a note for myself to talk about them again next time. There we go. Ha ha ha. That is looking good. Very nice. There we go. Alright, I think these are perfectly coated now. Yeah, they look good. So I think... Oh wait, I see one. You have a little bit of a gap right here, bud. Can't have that. We gotta fix that. Focus, 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 focus. There we go. I think that's good. Yeah, that looks pretty good right now. Those look small. Oh, hello there. Gotta look at these at different angles, because some angles, they do look nice and smooth, and I look at them in a different direction. And it's like, wait a second, I see something that shouldn't be. There we go. That is looking a lot better from this angle. Check it from another angle. Yeah, that's looking good. I think I'm about done with this part then. I'm not sure what part to move on to. How long have we been together? Oh, we're actually going on 3 hours. That's not too bad, I think. And I do feel like I've gotten quite a lot done today. I'm not going to be able to do any more on this side of my desk after this, though. So that means if I want to continue, I do have to reset you guys into a new position. But I am leaning towards, we'll probably call it here for the day as soon as I get the last of these completely coated. Because there are some areas that I'm noticing I need to clean up a little bit extra. There. Mainly on some of these, the parts where I held them by the edge when I did my first coating. Needs a little bit of extra love. Go. Oopsie, don't fall. And I am starting to feel that this resin is starting to set itself up quite a bit. So I've got to be careful. Plus, I don't want to just leave it in the cup when I'm done. I'm probably going to pour it into some of the molds just to get it gone. Alright, I did that one. Look like we need that. Ooh, loader. Nice and clear. I don't actually think I ever got to the tips of these guys, so we'll give those ones a quick pass right now. Just can't have too much resin on my brush or it will glob against the bottom, and that is not something that we want. We just want them to have a nice even coating on themselves. Very cute. Alrighty, got that guy. Let's scooch you over just a little bit too. That one's good. Alright, red one over here. It's just a little bit around this area. Sweet. Alrighty. I'm gonna call it for those guys, so I'm going to scoot these over here. There. Now they can't get touched. And they'll stay clean. So then I'm going to grab some of my pigments, and in order to get rid of the rest of this stuff, I'm gonna pour it into more of the diamond gem molds as just a, you know, scrap, since there's not a lot that I can do with these guys. There we go. Put that set down. Move our syringe. Alright, one moment while I grab the pigments. Ow, back. Oof. Actually, I'm going to take just a couple moments and stretch. So give me just one sec. Alrighty, that feels much better after stretching. Alright, then we will go back to work in progress. Ha ha ha, figuring this out as we go. Move this over. That way I have a little bit of extra room. Alright, so I'm going to slide that over. Oh wow, that is starting to have its chemical reaction. So yep, we do have to be a little bit speedier in pouring these. If you guys want, I have, so these here are the color pigments that I've got. You guys can pick colors if you would like, and we will do some coatings on the inside of the gem molds here. Got yellow, blue, green, pinks and reds, purples, black, fuchsia, lime, green, a couple types of blue. Others we will just go completely random with them. I may just go over to some pride colors, as I do want to create a couple of cute little pride bracelets possibly in the future. So I'll give you guys just a couple moments to do those. There we go. That feels a lot better. Ha ha ha. So we're going to move this too. Get it off there. Alright, I don't see any color suggesters, so we are going to just pick some random. Probably go with my own pride colors. which are pink, yellow, and blue, because I am personally pansexual. So there we go, yellow, blue, and here is the pink. I actually haven't opened that one yet, so that'll be fun. I'm gonna slide all of these guys over just to get them out of my way. There. Alright, I need my brush. Because these guys are super pigmented. So whenever I use them, I'll just take it's actually a little eyeshadow brush, and I will paint it along the inside of the molds. And let me see, I think I can get, there's only one empty of that, so we'll just go with the tinies for now. Oop. Yeah, this stuff is very pigmented. It gets everywhere quite easily. So I'm going to just brush a little bit on, get in there, and I'm just going to pat it around. Now, like, a little bit does go a long way, but I do want these ones to be as pigmented as I can possibly make them. So I'm going far and I'm adding what I can all over, making sure I get the top of the molds as well. That way it doesn't just suddenly stop having color when you reach up there. There we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. Alright, and then opening up the pink. Come on, open. There we go. Oop. A little bit of a dust cloud. A-okay. And in and patting all over. Like, I gotta be very careful not to just leave a ton of pigment on the very bottom, otherwise these guys will not cure all the way to the bottom. Oh, careful. There we go. Alright, that's pretty good. Clean brush. And then blue. And then I'm just going to use the rest to fill up some of the other ones so they won't be fully pigmented. But since this one does have a lot of splatter in it, it will collect that and it will just be some cute, clear paint splatter ones. There. That nice and coated all over the place. There we go. I think we're pretty good there. Alrighty. Oh, I can feel that that is starting to set. Oh, wow. We actually might not even be able to use this now. It seemed to have set up pretty rapidly despite itself saying it is a 24-hour. Alright, well, we do have a little bit that I can get off of here. Alright, we're going to set this down. Pour in. Oop, and full. Next one. Now this one seemed to have a much faster exothermic reaction than the others. There we go. And then just pour the rest in here. Oh, noticing these guys need a little bit of a top off too. Come on. There we go. Alright, and that should be good. I will have to clear up the top later. And we're all set. Alright, let's alright, we're gonna move this quick. And we're gonna, oh, there we go. Got it. Oops. Okay. Hello. Over here again. Oh, too low. Got it. Okay. Right. I don't need this anymore. Because we're not using glue. Okay, so that is about what I can do for today. This was a lot of fun though. Thank you guys a lot for stopping in with me on our first stream. I'm pretty happy with how this went, and I'm very excited to do another one. I'm not sure when I'll be able to do the next stream, so I will probably make a poll over on like Instagram and stuff to let you guys pick when we do our next one. Other than that, I'll post some progress pics once things start to set up a little bit more on Instagram and Facebook. And I don't know if I'm able to put pictures on here somewhere, but we'll try. I don't know how to start that thing. Yeah, that thing does not seem to be running right now. At least, I thought it was supposed to run. Oh, there's still a lot on here that I'm learning to do. Oh, oopsie. But this was a lot of fun. If you guys can think of anything for us to do next time, I'd love suggestions. And if you can think of anything I can do to help improve our stream here, I'll also take those suggestions so that I can hopefully make this better and a much nicer experience for you guys. I will see you guys later, and thank you for stopping in.